Hi, my name is Marcelo, and today I'm going to talk about the book 1984. No, I'm not talking about the year, but the book. Relished by critics and loved by anyone who ever read it, this masterpiece created by George Orwell hides in its pages meanings that are easily missed. If you're asking why would you want to better understand this book, it is because the words written in 1948, yes, the book has this name because they just inversed the years when he made it, when he wrote it, and its message remains extremely relevant to this day. And even though I'm a student and my careful reading of this written piece and my extensive research on the topic, I believe I'm qualified to talk about it. So now, prepare for a wild ride on the book 1984 and its meaning and its philosophical and political implication. In the dictatorship presented in the book, there is an extreme information control, where everything has to be approved by the government, with it changing articles and books more than 3 times, with a famous slogan who controls the past, controls the future, who controls the present, controls the past. This is comparable to today's fake news. They are a lot less severe and controlled, but they are used to manipulate people and can have a big impact. The revelation shows us the importance and the impact manipulation of information can have on society. Manipulation of information is very dangerous, as is shown by the book. It's used to make sure everyone thinks the party is perfect, that it makes no mistakes, and that their actions almost always improve the country's situation, almost guaranteeing utmost loyalty. This is one real-world example of this is Hitler's Nazism, which this written piece of art was based on. And was a lot based on, given even that it was written just some years after the war ended, the Second World War ended. It's starting with control in Nazi Germany, starting from school, about Jews and fake science. So now that I ended talking about manipulation of information, I'm going to now discuss how the book threatens freedom of speech. Well, there is no freedom of speech. In the world the main character resides, you cannot say a word which is against the big brother. The supposed leader of the political party will use or say, if you do, you will die. And not a nice death either. But how do they find that out, you might ask? Well, 2 things: the thought police and the telescreens. For the first, monitoring everything you write, or even what you express with your facial expressions. And the second, a device that is everywhere, even in people's homes, that monitors everything you say. No, it sees everything and can hear what you say and can also do the contrary, transmitting image and sound. This relates to us because of our technology. It could be even worse. It warns us so we do not fall into this trap. This situation may seem unlikely, but we already have many dictators try to implement things like this. If we think about how that would impact our ability to evolve and become better as a society, it is horrifying, because there is no evolution without questioning. And that is the point of the system. If you cannot even think about going against this nightmare, you'll not even know it's a nightmare. And this leads to the staleness of power. If no one challenges it, it will be the same forever, never changing hands. And to make that even that work, there is one last piece of the puzzle. The pro. That's what they are, what we call proletarians, so the ruling class. They compose 80% of the population in the book. And forgive me when I'm talking about the thought police and telescreens. I didn't mention that the only ones monitored by that are the middle class and the upper class, or respectively the inner party and the outer party. The government does not watch the pros so closely, because even if they are the ones with the power to change everything, and the ones with the most liberty, they don't know they are the ones who have the power, and then they don't know how to use it. A very interesting quote from the book that explains that is, until they become conscious, they will never rebel. And until after they have rebelled, they cannot become conscious. It's a phrase said by the main character. He doesn't want to believe it, but he knows it's true. They will be forever stuck in this dictatorship. And there are some motives for that. They do not have education, they are constantly fed propaganda, they record, every record points to the political party being right, and there is always war, constant war, with risk of bombs falling every single day. And if your main goal is surviving and diminishing suffering, you're too distracting to even think about something meaningful. Looking with care at this part of manipulation, you can see the brilliance of 1984. Because the same situations happens today in several countries. There not might be complete manipulation of records or infinite war, but the lack of proper education, the fight for survival, and the propaganda, it's still there. And the news power continues there in our world that keeps moving, which impedes me talking about 1984 forever, even though I would like to. So if you're not paying attention, with this speech I wanted to explain how the control information, restricted freedom of speech, and control of the masses is used in this book to create an ultimate authoritarian government, and that although in lesser proportion this happens today. And by doing that, I would like to encourage every one of you to do two things. Read 1924, or reread it with a different view of the events, and most importantly, to pay close attention to who you elect and support, because we don't know what could happen. Because I don't think anyone here wants to live in a world that is even close to this universe created by George Orwell. Because I don't, so pay attention, because I don't think anyone wants that. So, thank you for listening. Have a great day.